Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my nightmare.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Come and play with us, Daddy.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fear Freaks Podcast. My name is Braden.
I'm Destiny.
And we are the Fear Freaks. We got a pretty fun and exciting episode tonight. I feel like I say that every single week when not all of them are super fun and or exciting. But, you know, hey, we're always excited to be here. That's always a plus, right?
Yeah.
Destiny's like, I actually genuinely look forward to every week. But, I mean, way to degrade, you know what?
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm totally kidding. It's always so much fun to be here. We get to talk about movies. We get to talk about stuff that, you know, I'm sure annoy the fucking shit out of other people during any other sort of conversation that you might have. Like if you go up to a normie that doesn't like movies, or they're not embedded within movies or even horror movies, which we talk about on here, they're like, okay, could we just skip to the end of this conversation, please, so I can move on with my life and forget about it?
Yeah.
But here, the movie community, it's so awesome to see that there are so many people out there that people like us can go to and talk about movies and all that stuff. So, but before we get started, let's say hello to the chat. I see that we've got Lamontre Gillard, we've got Brettman, I actually said Brettman this time instead of just Goodreel, like, you know, but Brettman, what's going on? Brandon, how's it going? Ashton, how you guys doing? And Byron Weaver, what is going on? I don't think I missed anybody, and hello to anybody that is listening to us or watching us in the future. So tonight we are talking about top 10 winter, mostly horror movies. Mostly horror. I did a couple that are not considered horror. They're more comedies, but they're winter movies, you know, and I feel like this is the only time I'm going to get a chance to talk about it on the channel this year, so I included those. There's like 4 of them on this list, but yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. So in the comments, be sure to leave your guys' comments and let us know what you guys watch during the winter. Curious to see what you guys watch and how it differs from ours. But Destiny, what is in your world of horror this week? What's happening? What's going on?
All right. So this week I did watch a few movies, mainly first time watches. So getting back into, you know, watching movies. I watched Christmas, Bloody Christmas, because everyone was talking about it. And I really liked that one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people have problems with the characters, but personally I didn't. I felt like they were pretty relatable in a way. Do they cuss maybe a little bit too much? Yeah. I would have toned down the fucks a little bit. It feels very much like Rob Zombie, you know? But I also like his movies. So I don't think every sentence is fuck, but like I cuss a lot. But I don't think it's every sentence I say fuck. So I think they would have toned down that just like a little bit. Maybe people wouldn't be so turned off by it, but I really liked the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. Oh my God. I watched Sweeney Todd for Back from the Dead, first time watch. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to, or like as much as a lot of people do, but I did like it. Oh my God, my voice is like going out. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Sorry. Anyways, so I watched Sweeney Todd. I thought it was pretty decent, I guess. I really wanted to like it a lot more.
The Demon Barber on Fleet Street. Nice. It's actually been a minute since I've seen that.
Finally watched it. And of course, I already knew how it played out because I did watch the kill count a couple years ago. So like, whatever. I finally watched the movie The Deep House. I remember, I think it was on Back from the Dead. I like mentioned it because okay, the premise sounds really cool. It is a found footage, but like I say found footage like loosely, you know? Like it looks very clean because it's like a drone and shit, but it's not, so it's not like grainy found footage or anything like that. But a found footage movie underwater, okay, with Ghost. they're exploring this old house that got like flooded, like there's a major flood, and so it's haunted. And I was not a fan. I did not like it that much. And again, I was really upset because the premise is really cool. We don't see movies like that a lot, and I've never seen another movie like this with the same sort of premise. So I was like, okay, which the reviews are pretty split, I would say. Like, they're like, okay. It just like the characters were frustrating and the dialogue wasn't good. And because they're like in like scuba or like in like you know what I'm talking about? Like to go underwater.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's really hard to show your emotion, and I felt like their voices didn't match the panic that they should feel. Like the guy would talk and it was very like me talking to you right now. And I was like, okay, there should be more, because like we can't really see you, so your voice at least has to do something, and it just wasn't there. So yeah, the Deep House, I just didn't really care for it, unfortunately. And the last thing I did watch, I watched season 3 of Dead to Me. Have you seen that show?
I've not.
It is so good. I love it. It's
No, I genuinely had something.
I know you're
But
making fun of me. I was like,
no, but you know, I thought that I would be dramatic with it, so that way
Oh.
you thought that I was just being a smart ass. But hey,
mission accomplished. Anyways, Dead to Me season 3. It is the last season, and it is a quite upsetting season. I cried like the entire season. Like every episode, I would start crying. So I really did like it. The way they kind of like closed everything out probably wasn't exactly what they wanted. Unfortunately, Christina Applegate, I believe that's her name.
mm-hmm.
She's one of the main stars, and she was diagnosed with MS, I think, last year. And so I feel like that kind of really halted like the way they wanted the show to go, and that's really upsetting because I do really love her, especially in this role. She is so good. And then you have Linda Cardellini, Velma from Scooby-Doo. She's like the other main character in the show, Judy. Love her so much in it. And the final season is just really sad, but overall I really liked it, so I definitely recommend the show. Only 3 seasons, and they're like 22 minutes each episode, so it's like you can get through it pretty fast. So I definitely recommend that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's a solid list. You got through a lot this week.
Yeah, and some more Criminal Minds.
Yeah, more than the last couple of weeks. I do see that we've got a few more people that came in. I do want to say hi to Denise. What is happening? Gory, hey, it's okay to be late. It's okay. You're here. You're here now. That's all that matters. You know what the bosses at work would say is, you know, if you're late, then something drastic better have fucking happened. Like, you know, so work will still make you come in through, like, you know, it's like a running joke, you know. Never mind. Stupid, dumbass shit. Stupid. Everyone's just probably like, someone cue the cricket sound effect, please.
Yeah.
Crickets. Yeah, you guys know what I mean, right? Thank you for not making me feel super dumb. Matt Fauci, what's going on? Destiny, love the hair.
Thank you.
Is that inspired by Wednesday?
I mean, no. I just have bangs.
Oh.
But I figured I would get Wednesday comment.
You definitely
It's called, I washed my hair last night and I didn't wash all the conditioner out, and so my hair feels absolutely disgusting. But I didn't want to wear it back because that makes me feel bald in a way. So put them down so y'all can still see my hair.
Oh,
I don't know. I just get self-conscious when my hair is like up, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Next time I'll make sure I'll be like, are you balding?
Shut up. I'll say the same thing to you.
Hey, honestly though,
take off
look
the
at
hat.
I mean, shit, yeah. Like, look, this shit goes so far back. Like, this side looks fine. Like, this side, honestly, I probably should just go bald.
Look at this.
I mean, look, I'd probably look okay bald.
Don't go bald. You could like land a fucking plane on these things right here. We both have big foreheads.
Both just got gigantic. It's because our brains are so fucking big.
Yeah, that's probably
They
it.
gotta fit.
Oh, God.
The brain's gotta fit. And Tanis, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome into the fun. Get in here. Aaron Click, what's happening? We're gonna start a poll here. Who thinks Destiny and I should go bald?
No.
Destiny's like Destiny, us, we, who,
Whoa.
what?
No. I need a
Um,
haircut, but not that short.
yeah. Byron asks, Destiny, are you excited for Scream 6?
Absolutely, I am. Today at work, because I was waiting yesterday, because there was talks of it coming out yesterday, so I waited every hour. Would check, nothing. This morning, I was at work, and I saw a tweet less than 30 minutes to the trailer. And by that time, it had been 30 minutes. So I fucking scroll up. It was right there. I said, I have to go to the bathroom. I went in the bathroom and I watched it at work. And I'm so excited. It looks so good. And it looks like it has like, I don't know. It feels so much more intense, you know? Something about it. It feels so intense. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. It definitely does. I was very excited to see that this morning. It dropped very early. Like, I mean, it dropped earlier than I thought it was going to. I like literally woke up and I was like, fuck, it's already out. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I will save all my thoughts for I'm doing a video on it. It should be out tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about the trailer, break it down a little bit. So definitely excited for that. But I'm definitely excited for Scream 6 as well. And I also find it hilarious that they actually utilize the 6 within their title now. Like the Scream 5 was just called Scream, and now it's Scream 6. Like it's interesting. You know, I'm like, y'all could have fucking done this for Scream 5. If it was just a continuation, I don't know why you just called it Scream. Like,
Yeah.
so dumb. But you know, hey, whatever. But it sounds like it looks like that the marketing is gonna be on point again. Thank God. It's very brief, like nothing was given away. But I will just say right now, the look of Ghostface from the Entertainment Weekly thing, the weathered mask. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's just the weathered masks for these horror icons. They just look so cool. They just look so much better. So I shouldn't say better, but they just look so good. When they decided to change it up a little bit. So, and I saw the image and I was like, God damn, that looks sexy.
Yeah, it looked really good. Because like you said, like it's the same, but it's like a little different, you know? Like when the whole chrome mask sort of thing came out last year, I was like, no. It's like, I don't want a chrome mask. I know people are excited. I was like, I don't want a chrome mask because I feel like that's too different. So I'm glad it was only utilized in a stab movie. So with this though, to where it's still the same but just slightly altered, I'm down with that because it adds like a new look. Because a lot of the ghost faces, the mask might be shaped differently, but they're still the same, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
No, me too. I definitely am. Good Real says, do you think that it's Halloween season or horror convention? I'm pretty sure it's Halloween. I'm pretty sure I saw Halloween decorations around like around on the set and everything. So I think that it's Halloween.
Which is also exciting. A Scream movie on Halloween?
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's that's new because most of the time it's all just been like, yeah, there's been parties, but it's just been like a schools out type of party because of the curfew and all that stuff. So this is definitely brand new. And it looks like the vibe looks intense. The everything about it looks great so far. So I'm very excited about that. Only thing that's in my world of horror this week is I finished Wednesday. Finally, and I very much enjoyed it. I give it a thumbs up. I do give it a thumbs up. I see why some people thought that the ending was just they left it open, obviously, for a season 2. But I loved her final line. Like as the screen went black, like she was like, "I know, isn't the suspense just killing you?" And then it just right there, I was like, "Of course, it's such a Wednesday type of comment." So I'm like, you know what? Yes, it is. I'm definitely excited to see where they go with season 2. And obviously, Tyler, he's still on the loose and looks like he's going to escape from first. Like, yeah, they restrained him and stuff, but they're like, yo, this is a hide. Like, y'all
Yeah.
need to do something more than put him in front of officers that he could just easily now kill. And it's like, that was like one of the things I saw. I'm like, yeah, they think a stray jacket's gonna fucking hold a hide. Like, no, because he could just transform. Like, so
Also, I hope
stupid.
everyone in here has seen Wednesday, because if not,
Oh shit. Yeah. Shit.
did we say hide? We meant
Did we
bride.
say I just meant monster? And did I say Titan? You know what? I'm sorry. Hopefully everyone's seen it.
I hope so, because you fucking straight up just said it.
Yeah,
When
I know.
you said it, I was like, yeah, and then I was like,
absolutely zero spoiler warning. So, but it's been out for a couple weeks though now. So,
it has, but
I know that it's a show and not a movie, so you actually have to invest time. Yep, you're right. Hey, you're right. You're right.
It has been everywhere though.
Yeah, no, it really has. So Ashton says Braden just spoiled the entire end without warning. I didn't even hesitate. I didn't even be like, hey, have you seen it? Hey, but this is the ending of it. So, oh man. But okay. That's the only thing that happened with me. And obviously watching the Scream 6 trailer this morning, but that's it. Okay, top 10 horror. Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first?
I will go first. Do you have any honorable mentions?
No, not really. I'm pretty set on my top 10 that I watched during the winter.
Okay, well, I do.
Okay.
I have 5, so I'll just mention those really quick. So I strictly stuck with horror because I thought that's what we were doing. So there's nothing else really on my movie list, which I don't think there probably would be anything else because I can't even name like a normal movie that takes place around winter. So I have No Exit. Have you seen that one?
No.
Came out this year. It's on Hulu. It was pretty good. I think it gets a little bit too convoluted towards the end, but I did like it, and it's set in the snow, and it looks beautiful, especially when we see some cop lights against the snow. Wonderful. I also included Wrong Turn 4. Not the biggest fan of the movie, but I do really like the setting. A slasher movie from the 80s called Curtains. This has one of the creepiest looking villains, I think. Like, the mask is so scary, and I would see it all the time as a kid, but I never knew the movie. But Curtains, I watched it on like YouTube for free. Shh, don't tell anyone. I have The Blackcoat's Daughter, which I put it in my honorable mentions because I genuinely cannot remember anything from this movie. And I watched it this year, but I can't remember anything, so I don't know. And then I have Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I just watched recently. So thought I'd put that on here too. Have you seen that one? Have you seen any of the ones I mentioned? All right. Sickening.
Cool.
Sickening.
Well, okay, now that you've given your honorable mentions, give us your numero 10 on your list.
Yeah. Also, before we start, we're not really, I didn't put Christmas movies because we will be doing a Christmas movie list next week. So this is just like wintertime. There's a couple of movies where it takes place around Christmas, but like Christmas isn't the main focus. So like Christmas movies will most likely all be included next week. So my number 10, I have Let Me In. I haven't seen the original Let the Right One In, and I think there's also a book. Haven't read that either. I would probably like to someday. And I haven't seen this one in a really long time, probably since around the time it came out. But I remember how cold it was because it's snowing everywhere. Everywhere is like thick snow. And it just feels so like dreary, and it's, you have a vampire, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Let Me In. I'm due for a rewatch, but
Sick.
have you
So
seen Let Me In?
I've seen Let Me In. I've seen Let Me In. And I will say, you said that the villain in that one you said is good. Is that what you were saying, or did I hear that from the last one?
That was from the movie Curtains.
Okay, cool. So that's just me drawing a blank. I do apologize. But yeah, I definitely do think Let Me In is a good winter one. I would sit down like and watch that with the lights out and candles lit for sure. So
Yeah. Make it like really cold in your house and everything. I love doing that. Whenever I'm watching a cold time movie, I really like my room to be like freezing to really set the mood. Because one time, the first time I watched a thing, I watched it during the summertime and I walked out and I felt like so disoriented. Like it almost made me feel sick because I was watching something so cold with a fan blowing on me. And then as soon as I stepped outside, it was so hot. It really threw me for a loop. Stop it, Owen.
okay, you good over there?
He's like scratching on the wall, going crazy. Okay, anyways.
You done talking about yours?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, this may surprise a lot of people. This might surprise a lot of people that my on number 10 on my list. Now, I didn't put mine in any particular order. These are just movies that I would watch during the winter time. But number 10 on my list, and I had an absolute blast watching this, is Ice Spiders. Ice Spiders. It's basically about a ski resort that has a whole bunch of it has a spider problem. And within like the skiing moments and everything, like there's a scene where giant spiders are literally jumping on all of the skiers and attacking them. And it's basically the people at the lodge have to like rise up and fight this army of spiders. Nowadays the CGI on the spiders look atrociously bad, which makes it watchable for a fact. But yeah, it's a very fun and entertaining like hour and a half movie. I will say that the cover of it scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. Like as I was at the video store, it literally because like they use a realistic looking spider on the cover and whatnot. But when you watch the movie, the CGI on them it's terrible. It's like, oh, you just got to see it. I don't know if anyone here has seen Ice Spiders, but it is definitely a fun movie. And I remember my buddy and we rented it one night just on a fucking dare, and it turned out to be entertaining as shit. So Ice Spiders is my number 10.
Ice Spiders. All right. Haven't heard of that one. Okay. For my number 9, I have We Are Still Here. I think it came out in 2015 and it has Barbara Crampton in it. Love her, of course. And it's like a haunted house movie. And this is a movie that I had seen like years ago. And then I bought the DVD at the last Christmas convention I went to last year. And they had it there and it was like $5. And I saw Barbara Crampton and I was like, okay, like I'm going to get that because I haven't seen it. Then I went to go watch it. And then as I was watching it, I was like, I have seen this. I just completely forgot about this movie until I started watching it. And I didn't know who Barbara Crampton was at the time. But it's a haunted house movie. Again, snowing pretty much the entire time. And like the ghosts themselves look really cool. It's not like your typical sort of ghost look. They're not like super pale or anything. They're like black and like cracked skin, like a fire. And the ending's really good. And it's actually like some of the deaths in it are actually kind of upsetting. And they're dealing with like they lost their kid and stuff and they moved to this house. And it's sort of like the new people like move into like the strange house and everyone around them is being like super weird and shit because they know like what they're in on the whole thing, you know? So We Are Still Here. I definitely recommend it. I feel like I don't see this one talked about like at all.
I don't even what one? I don't think I've seen that one.
I recommend you do. Do you remember what it was called?
Yeah, let the right one in.
You're fucking with me. I will slap you for real.
So I just read on something let the right one in. So I like looked down and I was like looking, it was like moving. So I had to exit out of it So it was like sucking my eyes in for some reason. So what was it?
Okay, for the rest of the stream, what if we like stay right here? You know?
Let's do it. Let's do
it's
it.
called "We Are Still Here." Barbara Crampton.
We are still here.
We are still here.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, no, I still have not seen that one.
Still haven't within the past 30 seconds.
Still have not.
Still have not seen it.
still have not seen that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, I'm loving what all these comments are saying, though. I'm loving what they're saying. Brandon says he was checking his stocks.
Has to be. Because you know when you're talking to someone and you can clearly tell that they're not fucking listening to you? I knew you weren't listening to me, and I kept talking.
He was checking his stocks. We've got he was looking at his grinder.
That's probably what it was.
That's phenomenal. You know what? He caught me. Carlitos, you got me, my dude.
You got me. We still have not seen it.
We still have not seen it.
Oh my
Braden's
god.
OnlyFans. I got mega feet pics on there right now, making hella bank. So
hella bank. Okay. You're number 9.
No. Yeah, that one was on me. I'm sorry. That was just me being an asshole friend and a douchebag. I'm glad that everyone got to experience that on the stream though.
Yeah,
so,
that was live.
That was live. Everyone can now see that. So yeah, but no, I have not seen that movie to answer your question.
Awesome. Glad we established that.
My number 9. The Thing. I love The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's this, and I like watching that in the winter because of the snowy environment. And I mean, like, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion, The Thing is actually John Carpenter's best movie, right? But in my opinion, it's Halloween. Like, I'm a big Halloween fan. Like, but I think without Halloween, like if that doesn't exist, I think my favorite John Carpenter movie would be The Thing. And I love the score in the movie. I love like the creature, and I love the special effects. And around that time, those effects still hold up today. I was just rewatching it not too long ago, and the effects still do hold up in today's day and age. So I think that it's absolutely phenomenal. Love The Thing. That's number 9 on my list. It probably, and again, guys, this is in no particular order or anything. So,
all right, what to say? Okay, so my number 8, I have Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin. This movie is the only reason why I have Paramount Plus, and I just never canceled it, so I still have it. Which I guess I like Paramount Plus for the most part, but Next of Kin, I thought it was interesting because they were talking about making a Paranormal Activity 7, and so I thought it would be like a continuation of the story that we've gotten pretty much this entire time, but it's not. It's something pretty different, and I'm sure if they wanted to call it something else, like if it was just called Next of Kin, it probably could have worked, but you know, it's a Paranormal Activity movie, which I do think it still fits in with the franchise because the core basis of it is the same. You know, your family is involved in weird shit that you don't know about, and then it comes back to get you. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing. So I do think it fits within the franchise, but I think it could have also worked as like a standalone sort of movie. It doesn't have that original Paranormal Activity feel because it is so clean, polished. Like it just looks so professional. And again, there's shots in this that are not found footage. It's definitely, you know, just shot like a normal sort of movie. But I do think the story itself is really good because, you know, she goes to find her family because she was just like dropped off at a hospital, and she goes to like this Amish community, which is like her family, and it turns out they are into some crazy shit that's not Amish. And the end is actually really good, and I find like a lot of the scares effective. There's one specific one in the bedroom that actually like really got me. It was like pretty unsettling, and the ending is really good because it definitely you can have a sequel. I hope we do get one because I think the story was pretty good. And it ends with a Loretta Lynn song, which is cool because you don't see a lot of country music in horror, but I definitely like that. So,
I've not seen Paranormal Activity Next of Kin.
I recommend it. It does not have great reviews. It
No?
has like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's way better than a 30%. I'm not saying it's a fantastic movie, but it's definitely like a good sort of popcorn movie with some pretty good scares, and it has really good like mood and atmosphere because they're secluded from almost everyone, snowy, and they're in like a lot of like sort of like field type things, like they're in the
Mm-hmm.
woods a lot. There's so much nature around them and they're just so far out. So, and just like the whole Amish thing going on, it adds like another like level of like shit we're not used to. So, yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one that I'll have to give a watch. I do like the Paranormal Activity movies for the most part. I mean, like I feel like that there's a couple of them that are just like, but I don't know. And I'm shocked I haven't seen it. It's been out for like a little over a year now. Came out last October, right?
Did it?
21.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I still got to watch that. Maybe I'll do that this winter. Number 8 on my list is The Shining. I love The Shining. This movie is in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. I do think that this movie is very unsettling. I think that the exclusion of like where the Overlook Hotel is and or how isolated it is, I guess I should say, and the snowy environment that Kubrick beautifully captures of like the Colorado surroundings is amazing. And I mean, what's there to say about The Shining that hasn't been said already? I do hope to cover this as an entire episode because there's so much that you could jam pack into an episode talking about this. Maybe even 2,
Yeah.
because there's so much to say about this movie. And Jack Nicholson is amazing in the movie. The bartender scene is one of my favorite scenes in the entire thing. So yeah, absolutely love The Shining, and I think that it captures the winter vibe perfectly.
I would agree. Okay. My number 7, I have The Children from 2008. This is a movie I watched, I think, somewhat earlier this year. I definitely watched it this year for the first time because I would just see it like mentioned here and there, but not like a whole lot. And it was on like Tubi, I think. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And it really surprised me. It is actually really good. And I think it is like a loose remake of The Children, which came out, I think, in like the 70s or something like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
do want to watch the original and see how it like compares to this one. But basically, the children turn evil and they turn against their parents. And you would think that you're like, okay, this movie is really bloody. It's actually pretty gory. Obviously, it's upsetting because you have kids killing, and so therefore, kids have to die in return for that. Um, but the death scenes are like really gruesome, especially like the first one we really see. I was like, oh my god, because it's always scary when you have little kids doing something because they're supposed to be innocent, and
Mm-hmm.
this is just like this sort of, it's almost like a disease like going around. They're like coughing up like sludgy shit and stuff like that, and they're like really sick. And then they're also isolated out in like the woods, and it's snowing everywhere, so it's hard for them to leave as well, or for anyone to come and like get help because they're so far out. And this is like another one that I was saying, this one kind of takes place around Christmas, but I feel like it doesn't really have anything to do with Christmas. It's also like New Year's ish as well. But if y'all have not seen The Children, I definitely recommend it because there's some parts I was like, oh fuck. And I really like the main girl. She plays like a teenager. She's probably like 15 or 16. She's like kind of rebellious. She's like kind of emo-ish, like all into that kind of shit and like acting out and stuff like that. But I really liked her as a character because you see her like make mistakes, but when it comes to like shit like this, obviously no one's believing her when she's saying like, hey, really weird shit's kind of happening. No one believes her or anything like that. They think she's just trying to get out of like the whole family thing. But I definitely recommend The Children.
Yeah, you'll be happy to know that I haven't seen that yet either. I need to add like a lot of the movies that you watch onto my list because
That's what I wrote down. Ice Spiders, because you mentioned it.
Really? Yeah, I need I'll be curious to see what your thoughts are on that. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I definitely need to see some of these. I think I've seen the original one because you said that the 2008, like this one, you said it's like a loose remake on it. Then I know I've seen the original one. It's been years. I've not seen the 2008 one, but I definitely have seen the original.
Nice.
Number 7 that I have on my list is Dr. Sleep. I've ever since it came out, it's been kind of a tradition. I always watched it in the winter. And even though there like snow doesn't take up most of the movie, I mostly watch it just to get to that ending, you know. But the thing about Dr. Sleep, and I'll say it now and I'll say it when we cover it eventually, the thing about Dr. Sleep is it holds very well on its own, like for its own story, because the whole overlook and everything, even though that's not in the book, that's not involved in the book or anything, Mike Flanagan was very smart and using the overlook and everything that we know from that we know and love from the first film as the finale of his film version of the sequel. So I just think that it brings us right back into that isolation vibe as to why they need to get Rose the Hat and stuff like that out there, and it brings us right back into the wintry feel of the Shining. And yeah, I have watched it every single year since it's came out. It's only, I think it came out in 19, so it's what, 4 years, 3 years old now. And yeah, it's honestly, it's amazing. I love that movie. It was actually my favorite movie of 2019, horror wise, because Avengers Endgame came out that year too. That was my favorite of that year. But favorite horror movie was Doctor Sleep, and that was in competition that year with It Chapter 2, and I chose Doctor Sleep over It Chapter 2. Both King adaptions, but I like Dr. Sleep more. So,
wow. I do like Dr. Sleep. I kind of thought about including that on here, but it didn't quite make the list just because, like you said, it's not really until you get to the finale where it's like actual. But whenever I was looking at movies, I was like, ooh, maybe Dr. Sleep. Because I really did enjoy that. And I watched that for the first time this year. I want to watch the director's cut because I didn't watch that because I bought the fucking DVD from Goodwill, which is probably why I was at Goodwill, and my DVD was fucked up. It would get to the part with the lady and her baby, and it would fucking restart from the beginning. So I had to like watch it on Amazon, and that's all they had. But I do want to buy it, and I want to get the director's cut because this is a movie I was like, I just want to see more. Even though it's already so long, I would like to see more of it because I think this is a movie that deserves that extra time run.
yeah, see, in my opinion, it doesn't feel that long though. Like
no, it doesn't. Like you're so captivated.
Yeah, like when you sit down and you watch it, it's just like, and I love Ewan McGregor as an actor. And I mean, just like he really does sell that adult version of a kid that has just seen some shit. He has been through it, and you can tell. So I just think that the way that he plays the character and the way it's directed, it's amazing. And based on, and you were saying the director's cut, Brett Mann was asking, have we seen the director's cut? I have the director's cut. I haven't sat down and watched the entire thing, but I have seen, and this is, yes, Destiny, I basically pulled a what you did, and I saw the scene on YouTube, the bar scene, the extended bar scene, and I did watch that. So, you know, but that's because I also love that scene between Jack and his son Danny. Just that whole thing is amazing. Very well written movie, and I definitely love it.
Yeah, and I think last week I said how I have like a hard time paying attention to movies sometimes. But this was like the complete opposite. Like I was fully immersed. Like I put my phone to the side. I wasn't checking the runtime or anything like that. Like I was just in it. So I really like that movie. You have got to watch. I think it is the first episode of Bob's Burgers. It's called Crawl Space. It might be the second episode, but there's a whole part where Bob and Louisa's toy, her Coochie Kopi toy, they reenact that bar scene from The Shining. So you have to watch that episode just because it has that whole scene. All right. My number 6, I have Orphan. We talked about this not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's another one that, like, I kind of forget that it takes place during, like, the winter time. It's really cold. There's snow everywhere. It feels so dull. There's not, like, a whole lot of color in the movie, which I actually really like. I love seeing blood against the snow. That just always looks so cool, and they really utilize that in this movie. The whole thing with, like, the ice pond that, like, plays a big runner throughout the whole movie, and then we see payoff with the ice pond. So, yeah, Orphan. We just talked about not too long ago. Crazy fucking movie. Wild ride. One of my favorite twists in any movie, really.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a very stellar twist, and I agree because of like the whole snow vibe, and I can't believe I didn't put that on my list. Like maybe, honestly, that's a really good one. Kind of continuing here with my with Stephen King, we're going with Misery. I absolutely love Misery. I love the book. For those of you that are maybe wanting to read the book is very intense. It gets so much more descriptive than what is shown in the movie. I think that it is the read is I was like literally clenching like the book in my hands like as I was reading it. Like I was just like, oh my gosh. But the movie is very and it's funny because when you read the book and you think of the characters from the movie, you only see them as you're reading it, which just makes it so much more exciting. And the snowy atmosphere of Misery and just everything about it, just it really puts you in that winter vibe. I think again, this is a movie where you can just kind of light a fire, sit down with a blanket and a cup of hot chocolate, and just have some fun and watch it. So,
all right, Misery. Okay, for my number 5, I have Frozen by Adam Green. Not the fucking Disney one.
I was about to say I was gonna be like, there's no shot that you literally just said that you were giving me shit for not including anything horror, and you just said Frozen.
Listen, when you hear it's like the fucking, like I said, whenever I take like bloody pictures, and there's always someone that has to say, "You've got red on you." Haha. Really funny for the fucking 300th time. Drives me a little crazy. Same thing with Frozen. You bring up Frozen, you're like, the Disney? No. Google it. Thank you. Anyways, I was thinking about that whenever I was making my list. I was like, if someone says Frozen the Disney one, I'm gonna get mad.
Well, I'm glad that you fixed it, because if you were about to start just semi-describing it, giving like your little Spark Note synopsis of it, like, I feel like people would be like, that's not Frozen.
Where's Elsa and Anna? Bitch. Get back. Okay, anyways, Frozen. I watched this one, little fun story. I was at my mom's house, and her fiance has not a whole lot of movies. He probably has like maybe 30 movies. That might be like pushing it.
30?
It's probably like 20 movies. Does not have a lot of movies. But me being me, I was scoping them out. I was like, what does he have over here? And so I took some of his movies, which I did tell him eventually, and he had Frozen. And this is a movie I'd wanted to see, and I saw Adam Green, and I was like, fuck yes. So I grabbed it. I stole it. And then I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. This movie is so fucking, like, it's like a survivalist sort of horror movie, so that's cool to see. They are stuck on a ski lift. And that's really it. They're just stuck up there. And there is one death scene that's actually like really disturbing. Whenever I first watched it, I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't, it was a lot, really. But not only are they dealing with like wolves and shit, they're also just dealing with the environment itself. So you have like so much that's against them. They're really fucking high up. You can't just climb on this like the wiring because that will obviously like fuck up your hands and shit. So they're pretty much fucked and they're screwed and they're just stuck up there. And it was really cool to see this sort of movie from Adam Green because I've seen a good amount of his movies and I mainly know him because of Hatchet. And so it's really cool to see something that's so different from Hatchet and not zany and over the top and extra like gory and like slapstick in a way, you know? Like this is actually like really like serious and there's not like a lot of humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like seeing that from him because I was like, oh wow, that's like different from what I know him for. And then like I love his show Holliston, which is like a comedy sort of horror-ish show. And just to see something that is like really like serious and you know, I was like, he has range and I really like that. So I really like Frozen. Really like that movie.
See, yeah, I that's actually been on my list for to watch. Do you know if that's on anything right now? Is it on Tubi or is it on
I don't know. I feel like it might be on Tubi. Maybe on like Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I feel like it's somewhere though.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I definitely do want to watch it. I've been curious to see the poster alone just kind of catches my attention. It's just got the ski lift and the two hanging there. It's like, see that would be scary. That would be very scary.
And I'm scared of heights. So also I had this movie fucking spoiled for me because there's a spoiler in I think Hatchet 3 of who survives Frozen. It's like a little cameo sort of thing. And I was watching it, I was like, son of a bitch. Now I fucking know how I know it happens, which I do that to myself all the time. But when you don't want it spoiled for you, you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So if you rewatch Hatchet 3 before you see Frozen, be careful. Because
Okay.
there's a fucking spoiler in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good to know. Don't watch Hatchet 3 before Frozen. Note to self. I probably wouldn't, but you know, thanks for the tip.
Just warning. Or maybe Hatchet 2. Just skip all the Hatchet movies until you watch Frozen. Don't rewatch them.
Got it. What are we on right now? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're number 5.
5. Number 5 is American Psycho. Because they got the holiday party in the movie.
The Christmas holiday party?
It always just gives me incentive to sit down and watch it. And I love Christian Bale. Christian Bale, I mean, I love him for a lot of reasons, but I think that he is particularly amazing in that movie. And he actually said in an interview, like for Thor: Love and Thunder, he was talking about American Psycho. Like someone was asking him like what his favorite role or something like that was. He was like, oh my gosh, like I think it was American Psycho. He's like, because if you're as much of a sick bastard as I am, then you know that movie is definitely one that sparks his head. So yeah, he definitely had a lot of fun doing that. But then it's like you get a movie like American Psycho 2 that is just awful and unwatchable. Because it's like you have a movie as great as American Psycho, and then even American Psycho. What do you like American Psycho 2?
I do.
Oh gosh,
For how bad it is.
I was wondering why your face was like that. I'm like, do you like American Psycho 2?
I do. Like I know it's bad, but it's just one of those for me that's like it is bad, but I can have fun because it's just like, what are y'all doing?
But I mean, even the poster, it's like they tried to make it so similar to Christian Bale's American Psycho one, like with the knife, but she's got, what the fuck you call those things? You know what I'm talking about. But it looks very similar to the poster, and I don't know, just the movie's terrible. But yeah, love American Psycho. So
yeah, American Psycho is really good. I just watched that one, I think last year for the first time. Pretty late to it, but I did really enjoy it. I need to watch it again now that I've seen it. I want to like rewatch it so like to pick up on more stuff because I was just like watching it. I was like, a lot of shit's happening. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, I always just find it so funny the dance he does when he's in the scene with Jared Leto and like, he's about to kill him, and he like does that little dance like as he's walking over to grab the axe.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
just little.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like, so like with American Psycho, I had seen so many of those like iconic scenes, you know, but in the Hip to Be Scared music video by Ice Nine Kills, the whole, it's American Psycho. Like that's what the whole song is about, is American Psycho. And I love the music video for it. The music video for it is so good. So if you haven't watched the music video, you should watch that. I think I told you to watch that like probably last year.
Did you?
We were talking about Ice Nine Kills, and I was like, oh, like, you should listen to them. You put on that song. I was like, that's actually, like, my favorite song. So, definitely watch the music video, because it's really cool. Okay. My number 4, I have The Lodge. This is another movie that it takes place around Christmas, but I feel like it's not Christmassy enough to be a Christmas horror movie, so I just include it for winter. I remember seeing a really fucking big spoiler for this in Killer Flicks, and I was so upset because the person spoiled something that happens really early on. And I was like, what the fuck? And the movie was still pretty new when they did that. So I was upset. I remember waking up like at 4 a.m. randomly, checking Facebook because I couldn't get to go to sleep. I saw that post and I was just like, I closed my phone. I was like, I'm going to go to bed and hopefully forget. So then I waited to try to like forget what I knew. I can never forget what happened. But watching the movie, I really enjoyed it. I really like how you kind of think it's one thing, but it's really not. And then the ending of the movie is just so fucked up. And it's so bleak and it's so dark. And it's just, I was like, oh, wow. Because there, you know, you have this woman who has been through shit, been through some cult type shit. And so she obviously has trauma. And then when you poke people with trauma like that, they tend to have a little bit of a break, and it's not good. And it was not good in this movie, but I definitely enjoyed The Lodge a lot.
The Lodge. I saw part of that movie. I haven't seen the full thing.
A part of
but
it.
I will add that to my list. I feel like every time we get on here, I'm just kind of like, dang. So Destiny is just seen literally like more than just the mainstream horror. I'm like, oh, I'll watch like, you know, what's cool and what's popular and everything, you know. But like, I need to really get onto some of these like lower, like not like super out there movies. So I definitely am looking forward to adding these to my watch list. So maybe, honestly, I am trying to do the watch one film a day for 365 days starting this upcoming year. So we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah. My number 4 is 30 Days of Night. I think 30 Days of Night is amazing. I think that it's a fun movie. It's got a lot of action in it. It's a vampire movie, so it's like about the 30 Days of Night that goes on in Alaska. And I think that some of the sequences are very well executed. It's just overall very fast-paced movie. And I remember my dad and I watched it when it came out when I was a kid. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time it kind of scared the heck out of me. And the trailer, like when you just see this like woman get dragged like out of her window and just like taken under her house, and her husband watches her get like sucked under the house. It's scary stuff. So it's definitely worth your time if you guys haven't seen 30 Days of Night. But yeah, highly recommend it. And it's got a very good snowy atmosphere.
Yeah, I have not seen 30 Days of Night. Not because I don't want to, because I haven't found it anywhere yet. And I don't want to rent it. So I've been waiting till
I think it's on Netflix. Netflix right now. I think so. Hold on. Let me look real quick.
Look it up. Because if it is, then I will watch it. Because I've been wanting to watch it for a really long time now.
I could have sworn I just saw this on Netflix not too long ago. Oh, holy shit. And you do know who stars in it, right?
Josh Hartnett and Melissa George.
Let's see. IMDb normally tells. No, it's on Prime, but you got to rent it for like $3.
See, I'm hoping, because I feel like I usually find a lot of 2000s movies whenever I go to like thrift stores. So this is like a movie that I'm hoping I'll find at the thrift store, because I feel like I will. So I'm just kind of waiting to find it or for it to hit streaming somewhere so I can watch it, because it's been on my watch list for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, Mud said, does The Visit count as a winter movie? I think so, right? I remember there being some snow in it.
I would say so. I would say so.
I haven't seen that one in a long time either. Probably since when it first came out.
I'd say if it like takes place in the snow and if it's like a winter setting, it's a winter movie. So
definitely. I think even if they have like some coats on, sure, it's winter. Or if anything's like really gray, like if you wanted to, you could probably count Sweeney Todd as a winter movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
you could.
It's great.
You definitely could. Yeah, I agree.
There you go. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah, I said 30 Days of Night for number 4.
Okay.
You're on,
Number 3. Okay, my number 3, I have Misery. This is a movie I was also late to. I think I watched it 2 years ago for the first time because I found it on VHS at Goodwill for 50 cents. And so I watched it and I really enjoyed it. This is one that, again, I've seen referenced so much, especially in the episode of Family Guy, where they do like the Stephen King sort of like 3 stories, I think. So this is one of them. Stewie plays Ann Wilkes and Brian plays, what's his name in the movie? What's his name?
You're asking the wrong person.
You like this movie and you read the book. Is his name John?
It is. Yes.
No, I didn't think I was gonna get that. So yeah, Brian playing John. And so I already knew all like the key scenes from that Family Guy episode. But I really did like the movie because obviously I knew like Kathy Bates was going to be amazing because I love her in everything I've seen her in. But to see her in this role where she's like playing like a crazy person and all like the links that she goes through and all the links that he goes through to try to stay like to survive, it's pretty intense. Like every little thing that he does, I'm like, oh fuck, like don't do that. Like he can't even drop something on the floor because she's gonna know. Can't fucking turn one thing in her house because she's gonna know. So I really like the movie. Obviously, the hobbling scene was
Paul Sheldon.
Paul. What'd I get? You said it was John. Is that his real name? I feel bad because I know he just passed away.
Yeah, no, it's Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, so I don't even know what I was saying.
Oh, his name's James. Sorry, it's James Caan.
Okay, maybe that's where I got the J from.
Yeah.
So it's really intense. I mean, I'm sure most people have seen Misery. I do want to read the book because I do have the book. I just have not been in a book reading sort of mood in the past like fucking months. So I definitely want to watch it or read it. And I need to rewatch it because I've only seen it that one time. So I definitely need to watch it again. But it's quite memorable. Even if I can't remember the names, I remember what fucking happens in it.
Yeah.
So I will not unsee that shit.
No, it's intense. I got the Blu-ray and then the book is right up here on my Stephen King collection right there. So yeah, definitely a good winter movie. Now number three for me is Harry Potter. It's got witches and monsters and wizards and everything. And obviously, Harry Potter takes place during Christmas time, during some of the, actually, I'd say, and in almost every movie it takes place, there's a Christmas scene where they're leaving for the holiday and there's snow and everything. It just is a really feel good type of, environment within those movies, because the theme song that they have is always so great. I've got my Harry Potter collection right here. Destiny, have you haven't seen any of those, have you?
I've seen the first one, I know, like as a kid, but I haven't seen it in so long, and I didn't watch anything else, I don't think. Or if I did, I was a kid and I don't remember.
Yeah. No, they're really good. You should watch them. There's towards the end, there's a lot of really heavy action, but it's still really exciting, and it makes you feel for all the characters. But and this past Friday, I was just at Universal, and they had all the Christmas decorations set up in the world of Harry Potter, and it was just so cool. We did your test, right? You're a Gryffindor, I think, if I remember correctly.
I think I was a Hufflepuff.
Are you a Hufflepuff?
Yeah, because I was like, cool, I got the one with the dumbest name.
Okay. Be careful. We're in the same house, okay? We're in the same house, and Bretman's in the same house too. Look it. He's a Hufflepuff. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was a Hufflepuff. Because I wanted to be a Slytherin. What, Slytherin?
Slytherin, yeah. Brandon's a Slytherin.
I wanted a Slytherin because that's a cool name, but yeah, Hufflepuff.
Well, Slytherin is the naughty kids. That's what they call them.
That's what I wanted.
But instead, you got a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I'm still fucking signed up for that Harry Potter thing. I still get emails about Harry Potter.
Yeah. Hey, and I put in your email, please. So you're like, gee, thank you for that. Twin City says that you actually seem like a Hufflepuff. So there you go. You've got the personality. It's like
a Hufflepuff.
Or a Hufflepuff. So
it just makes me think of like Mrs. Puff or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, Brandon, you're right. Not all Slytherin are bad. That's for sure. So, I'm obviously just giving you guys a hard time. You guys do gotta, and I mean, Malfoy, he's not a bad character. He's a douchebag, but I mean, you see Malfoy's story and his father and all that shit, and yeah, so. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is The Shining. Like you said, what is there to say about The Shining that has not been said before? I haven't read the book. It's another book that I would like to read, even though I do know it is, like you said, with Dr. Sleep, the ending is different. But I definitely want to read the book, and I really do love this movie. It's not one that I go back to often, just because, like, the whole vibe of the movie, it's just like, and I feel like this is a movie I definitely remember watching a lot as a kid. I don't know how I watched a lot as a kid. Maybe I just didn't really understand the context or like the gravity of what's really happening, and I was just like, oh, I know these scenes. But whenever I rewatched it, probably 2 years ago or maybe like a year and a half ago, I think we had watched it the same day we watched Frozen, because we're doing like a cold movie sort of marathon because it was fucking cold here. And actually like really watching it when you're older and like fully grasping it, I was like, holy shit, this is actually really crazy. Of course, all the iconic scenes that we've seen. Again, I know a lot of them from Family Guy with the hotel episode. But I love The Shining. I think all the characters are played wonderfully. I'm really glad that Shelley Duvall is like kind of having like a comeback, like a renaissance in a way, because I do think she was unfairly treated on the movie set, and I don't think you have to traumatize your actors or actresses to get a good performance, even though I do think she gives a great performance. Maybe you didn't have to go so far to get it, but I'm really glad she's kind of getting her comeback, because I think she deserves that.
No, yeah, I agree. And obviously you look at the behind the scenes and you see that Kubrick was really pushing her and everything. So yeah, I definitely agree. And I'm sure that we'll have a lot to cover for that when we talk about The Shining.
Oh yeah.
Number 2 for me is Gremlins. Definitely a What? Would you not consider that a winter, or would you consider that more of a?
That is absolutely Christmas. But continue. It's fine.
I like Gremlins. I mean,
I do too.
there's no. I guess I could have included that on my Christmas list then. So but I was just kind of like thinking. Now I just got to add two more to my, because the next one is definitely kind of semi more Christmas, but it's also winter. You watch it within the winter period, it's considered winter, right? So Gremlins is number two, just because I love it. I think it's just a very fun movie. I mean, Gizmo, what's there not to freaking love? And yeah, just I seriously, I saw a few people throughout the chat like saying that they like to watch Gremlins during it, but I also think that was before we said that this is like winter. So, but it's definitely more Christmas for sure. But between now and Christmas, great to watch it. So number two, love this freaking movie. I would love to talk maybe about this like next holiday season as like a main Christmas thing, because we kind of have our December all put together right now, but next year would definitely love to. And I think we're getting closer, if I'm not mistaken, to getting Gremlins 3. So, at least from what I've seen.
I know. It's kind of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space in a way. I feel like there'll be like article and then there's like nothing. And then something will pop back up and then there's nothing. So I haven't seen Gremlins 2, even though it is on HBO Max and it's like on my like watch list on there. I know it's like different. It kind of goes like crazy. But I would like to see a Gremlins 3, as long as they do it like practically and like do it the right way, because I don't want to watch a bunch of CGI don't want to watch that. So if they do, it, I think right, I think that would be really exciting. Okay. But I do love Gremlins, and it will be on my list for the next episode because, yeah. Okay.
I might just keep it on my list for the next episode.
Just put it back on there. Fuck it. So
Fuck
nice. You had to do it twice,
Right?
You might as well.
Right.
Okay. My number one is The Thing. I love The Thing. Again, another movie I was late on. I feel like I watched this the same day that I watched Misery, doing a cold sort of marathon in fucking summer for no reason. But I watched The Thing because, I had heard about it because I was in Killer Flicks for a few months at this point. And so I kept seeing The Thing and stuff. And they show it in Stranger Things during like the first season. The teachers like watching it on TV. So I definitely needed to watch it, and plus John Carpenter, and I watched it and I loved it. I thought it was great. I need to watch it again because I've only seen it I think twice since that first time. But I think it's a great movie. The setting, wonderful, because you can just feel that through the screen. The practical effects, like you said, they are great. They still hold up, and it's cool whenever you see the movie because you see it referenced so many times. Like, of course, it's referenced in It Chapter 2 with Stanley's head turning into the sort of spider creature. The dog scene broke my heart. It actually made me really upset because those freaking dogs acting was way too good for me. So I was like, what did y'all do to these poor dogs? Because why is it cowering like that? It really, really upset me. And they die. But it's really good. And I really love the ending because it's kind of left like open, like it's ambiguous. Like you don't really know exactly what happens. You can there's like a lot of theories out there whether or not either one of them was a thing, or, do they live? Do they die? They probably do die. But I really like that there's so many like theories and like speculations because it is sort of like not like a whodunit, but it's like a who's next. And they're just trying to figure this out. And that would just be terrifying. Being out there like in the Antarctic and then all of a sudden there's like shape-shifting aliens and shit's going crazy. That would be fucking crazy because how are you going to get out? So, The Thing, great movie. I still want to watch the 2011 one. I haven't seen it. I know the effects are not good, but I want to watch the movie.
The fact that the 80s effects are better than the 2011 one says all you need to know about it. So.
Well, what pisses me off is that they shot it with practical effects. And they were like, you know what, fuck that. And then put CGI over it. Like, why would y'all do that?
Yeah,
I hope we'll get the original cut someday. Like, I hope it's still out there. There's no way it's not out there somewhere. So I'm going to hold on to hope that we'll see how it was supposed to, be intended.
Mm-hmm. All right, people, don't freak out. I did put a Disney movie that is also considered a Christmas movie on my list, and everybody knows what is up and coming, and it is, of course, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is definitely a winter movie. I don't care. I love it. It's a feel good one. I know, Destiny, you're over it right now. You're like, there's no way that this man just said that. You think I'm kidding, right? You think that there's going to be like a punchline coming, like saying that this is a joke. No, it's not. It's The Nightmare Before Christmas. I consider
Christmas.
it a winter movie. Yep. Sorry.
It's fine.
So this is going to be on my list next week too. So.
Mine too.
Perfect. So that works. And then we'll talk more about that next week. So, but Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely on my list for a fact. So love it.
Me too.
About like a half hour ago, I was so set in stone on like my Christmas movie list. Like I was bringing out like Krampus, and I was bringing out like all that stuff.
Oh my.
And
Could
then
you imagine we got here full Christmas list? I'm like, because we talked about this. We said winter, Christmas.
No, honestly, like because after you said that this week is Christmas, and I'm looking at my list, and I was looking back at you, and I was looking back at the list, I was like, that's honestly why. So people, that's why I got so thrown off earlier. And Destiny knew it too. She took that opportunity to be like, this man.
I did not know that.
I'm sure you did. You're like, this man's not paying attention. I'm gonna get his ass right now. And it worked. It did. It worked. So, you caught me off guard. But that's what I was doing. I was updating my list. So I am sorry. But Christmas is my number one. So that is our top 10 winter movie list that we like to watch during the winter, cozy up by the fire, all that kind of good stuff. But as we close it out, Destiny, what you got coming up this week? Anything?
Tomorrow I will be on Matt's channel, 7:45 Central Standard Time.
Cool.
Behind the Mask, talking about Friday the 13th movies.
Cool.
Yep.
Talking Friday the 13th. Catch her on Matt's channel tomorrow night, everybody. Only thing I got up and coming is some Scream videos. I'm going to be working on some Scream content. Finally have some videos to do. I've been waiting. I'm like, yo, when are we going to have some stuff to do, some videos to do?
Give me something.
But yeah, I am excited to start talking about Scream here on this channel as we lead up to Scream 5. 3 months of Scream content now. So I'm very excited about that. And then we might now have a Spider-Man podcast Monday. I know that the Q&A on Good Reels channel is now Tuesday. It was originally, I was told it was Monday, so we scrapped it. Not sure if we're going to have it. We might. So that's a maybe right now. I will talk to the guys about it. Then Wednesday next week, we're talking about our Christmas movies. Next week is Christmas week, so we are talking Christmas movies next week. Very excited about that. And that's pretty much all I've got and cooking right now. I'm kind of going to just be like doing the streams and a few videos here and there for the rest of the year. We'll kick off 2023 and we'll have a new game plan for the year and everything. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much as always for watching and tuning in. You guys are always a great audience. Look forward to videos very soon. And if you guys like this, join this channel on its journey to 1,000 subscribers. And we will see you guys next week on Fear Freaks. Have a great rest of your night, guys, and cheers.